Ladies and gentlemen, the New Orleans Saints defeated the Carolina Panthers on Monday Night Football. And things got heated in this game. You had an altercation between two star players after the matchup. We're going to break this down, plus it was a slow start for Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints offense. The pressure is heating up for the veteran quarterback after this primetime performance, but the New Orleans Saints defense continues to be completely unstoppable. The tiny Bryce Young was getting cracked, and even his mom could not stand to see some of those hits. We're going to break down this Monday Night Football matchup, the good, the bad, the ugly. Make sure to like and subscribe for more NFL content. The New Orleans Saints are now 2-0 after defeating the Carolina Panthers, and this is actually the first time that this team has been 2-0 since 2013. And that is why the Saints are super optimistic right now. However, they did only defeat the Carolina Panthers this past Monday, who nobody is expecting to do anything too great. And they also defeated the Tennessee Titans, who have a quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, who is struggling but did find a way to beat the Los Angeles Chargers just this past week in week 2. The Titans are a better opponent than we expected, and the Carolina Panthers defense does have great playmakers like Brian Byrne. And that Panthers defense caused the New Orleans Saints to have trouble getting the running game going, and you even had Jamal Williams have to head to the locker room, and he was out the rest of the game with a hamstring injury. The Saints are still waiting for Alvin Kamara to serve his suspension. He's expected to be back in week 4, and so New Orleans had to rely on Taysom Hill getting involved in the run game, and Taysom Hill ended the day with 75 yards, and they also had practice squad player Tony Jones Jr., who had 2 rushing touchdowns, and they were actually the first 2 rushing touchdowns of his NFL career. This guy was in awe the moment, and he couldn't help but almost laugh in the press conference. The guy looked a little nervous. But now we are getting word that Jamal Williams, the running back, is expected to miss some time after leaving that Panthers game with the hamstring injury. And because the run game was struggling, you also had the offensive line struggle in pass protection. This led to Derek Carr getting sacked multiple times in this matchup, 4 sacks in this game, and he was sacked last week against the Tennessee Titans 4 times as well. And this culminated into Derek Carr having another slow performance in the first half against the Carolina Panthers. You had him dealing with pressure, not able to find people open, missing receivers at times, and he even had a boneheaded interception where he was trying to force something and he threw it into triple coverage, ended in a pick. He knew it was his fault, and he just seemed frustrated in the first half of the game, and we saw him frustrated last week in the first half against the Tennessee Titans. But luckily, the Saints were still able to win the game, even though Derek Carr did not start off hot. And in the press conference, Carr talked about how part of the reason why he wanted to join the Saints is because of their defense. He knew that they can get a team victory. It doesn't all have to be on one side of the football.
That was part of the reason you wanted to come here.
Yes, that's a very big part of the reason. Any team that I talked to was a team with a defense, and when I played these guys, I knew DA, I know what it's like and how difficult it is, and all I want to do is win, and so I was like, shoot, if I can go there and have a day like today, didn't play my best in the first half, come back, play good in the second half and win a game. Like, I didn't have to be perfect for 4 quarters and we won. Like, that is awesome. I don't like that. Still, we won, but it's still 6. I should have played better. I can help the offense more. I can do, you sit back and I'm already analyzing it, right? But to have that defense to hold us, keep us in there until we got clicking in the second half, it helped us win the football game.
And it's hilarious because with the Raiders, Derek Carr has never experienced a defense before. With the Raiders, Derek Carr was 7-62 when scoring 20 points or fewer, and now with the Saints, when scoring 20 points or fewer, he's 2-0. And the Saints defense was unstoppable per usual. Head coach Dennis Allen was completely pumped up. The Saints were able to get 4 sacks on the day. You had some from Demario Davis, Carl Granderson, and Nathan Shepard also got a sack. And then there was a forced fumble and a fumble recovery that made everybody get wild and even made Bryce Young, his parents, cringe in the crowd. You saw his mom's face. She was like, oh no, I think this guy's too small to take this hit. We know Bryce Young is an incredibly small quarterback, rumored to be 5'10", but I think he looks a little shorter than that. And you had this Giants coach during preseason kind of make fun of Bryce Young Young talking about how he's 5'9", so maybe Bryce Young is 5'9".
I'm 5'9", so this won't block him? Okay.
But the Saints defense was freaking monster, and here's an interesting stat. With Dennis Allen, defensive head coach, the Saints have allowed 20 points or less in 10 straight games, and that is actually a new franchise record for the New Orleans Saints. And that is why defensive end Cam Jordan got heated when he saw some social media posts that it seems like he thought was real, where Bryce Young was allegedly saying he can't name a single player on that Saints defense. And Cam Jordan brought this up and says, "I think we've been properly introduced. Should have been a sack force fumble, but you know." And somebody tried to tell him that this is not real chill, and Cam Jordan says he has zero chill. He only knows full go what's his at, looking for Bryce Young's at, trying to tag him. And then Michael Thomas had to even let him know, bro, this is a fake meme, stay focused. So maybe Cam Jordan was a little confused by this meme and thought Bryce Young was talking trash, even though he got sacked multiple times by the Saints defense. Speaking of Michael Thomas, you saw the Saints offense have some rhythm at some times, and that is what's promising about Derek Carr and the Saints. Even though they've been starting off slow these past 2 weeks, we've seen the sparks. We saw Michael Thomas get 7 catches for 55 yards in a big reception near the sideline where he had to use his butt to get in bounds. And it's just so great to see Michael Thomas come back from all those injuries, and you could see the potential there. Something could really happen for this player. And Chris Olave was able to get 6 receptions for 86 yards, and he had this insane catch down the sideline where he pretty much had it bobble with one hand and was able to reel it in. It was one of those highlight crazy catches that you're going to see on SportsCenter forever and ever and ever. So when the Saints needed big plays, they were able to hit their big playmakers, and that has really been the story of Derek Carr, always a little more clutch in the fourth quarter compared to the beginning of the game. And you saw this especially again connecting with Rashid Shaheed, the speedster wide receiver. He was able to get his numbers throughout the game, and he had a critical reception on a scoring drive where he was able to beat his man, get the reception. Carr was able to hit him deep, and it's going to be really interesting to see the potential of this offense if they can get going early with all these weapons. And when you have a rivalry matchup, things can get heated, and things got heated after the game between defensive lineman Derrick Brown of the Panthers and wide receiver of the Saints, Michael Thomas. And it's really difficult to figure out what's going on here, but it seems like Derrick Brown is going after Michael Thomas here. And Michael Thomas seems to be talking trash, and Derrick Brown looks like the one who's really the instigator going up to him, and you have those people in there trying to separate it. And Michael Thomas has only commented a little bit about this on Twitter with some laugh emojis at times, saying they tried to set me up. And he's claiming he's innocent here. They were just playing some good Snoop Dogg after, and he was just trying to do his dance and chill, and then he was targeted there by Derrick Brown. We have not heard Derrick Brown's side of the story at all on this yet, but it seems like he was just a little frustrated that the Carolina Panthers had to take the L that evening. But it's great to see this rivalry heat up, and these teams will meet up again and play in week 14 of the NFL season. In the end, the defense of the Saints is continuing to carry Derek Carr in the offense's slow start. But at the same time, the offensive side of the football for the New Orleans Saints is able to show some big playability. We'll see if the offense could start out a little stronger in this upcoming matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Let me know your thoughts on the Saints situation in the comments below. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.